So guys that are going after high value women and are struggling to get them, what are they doing wrong? Are they chasing too much? Are they not chasing enough? What should they be doing?
Well, I think the first thing might be how they define high value woman.
Okay.
You know, and so I think some men may be placing value in the wrong things. And the high value woman to a lot of men is about how attractive she is. And though, of course, I believe attraction is extremely important, you can't overlook that, I do think some men get blinded by it. And it causes them to overlook other important issues and potential red flags within this woman, which sets them up for a lot of failure. But so depending on how we define it, I do think
there's become sort of a pop culture way of defining it. One of the things I want to talk to you about is not Andrew Tate, but the Andrew Tate phenomenon.
Okay.
So he's speaking to something that caught me off guard. So the young men that you see on the other side of this camera were asking me if I knew who he was, and I was like, I have no idea who that is. And like, you should really listen to him. And then I listened to him and I was mortified. And they were like, but look how big he is. And so he's speaking to something that is, it was very surprising to me. And so the idea of a high value woman as it's being talked about in culture now, can you give us like a quick primer on that? And then what it is about that you think culture is getting right and what is culture getting wrong?
Well, I think, so to be completely honest, I haven't gotten the full definition of high value women from the internet because I've heard different things. So there hasn't been this consensus that I have yet to hear. Now, from looking at it from the Andrew Tate perspective, I do believe it includes things like a woman who doesn't have much of a past, you know, someone who's highly attractive.
Not a lot of sexual partners.
Yes, not a lot of sexual partners. To some of these guys, no sexual partners at all seems to be the requirement now. Someone, of course, who is attractive. Then, of course, I know the one consensus is her being feminine, or what they say is cooperative, being willing to be submissive.
They actually use that word?
Yes, they use the word cooperative. Yes.
Nice. That's a polite way to say it. Yes. Okay.
So I think those are some of the ingredients to high value women that they're proposing. Now, I think we can look at high value women also from the perspective of, so before Andrew Tate, there was Kevin Samuels. And he kind of got the term high value really going on the internet in today's culture. And so one of the things me and my colleagues discussed was that you could look at high value as the individuals who have the doors open easier for them to the opposite sex, all right? Now, the thing is, if you look at it that way, it really separates the fact that high value does not equate to good person. It's not an automatic thing. Because a woman could be extremely beautiful and have doors open for her everywhere, but it doesn't mean she's a good person. It doesn't mean she's gonna be a good partner, all right? So again, it depends on where men are placing their value. But if we just go with the feminine, cooperative, looks good, doesn't have a past, things of that nature, I think for a lot of men, where they're going wrong is that they are not figuring out the life they want to live first. So one of the dangers of what's happening on the internet, in my opinion today, is there's this constant push of, well, you have to make X amount of money to be somebody. You have to make X amount of money to get this great woman. And yes, finances play a significant role in relationships. We can't deny that. And women desire financial stability. However, if that doesn't align with who you are as a man, you're asking for trouble. So it's like, a guy has to be real with himself. If he's a simple living guy and would be happy let's just say, I'm throwing out the numbers, $60,000 a year. But he lives in a town where $60,000 gets him by perfectly fine, has a roof over his head, food on his plate, and he can find him a partner who loves him, who he aligns with and can be happy with. He doesn't need to push to that higher over six-figure level because people don't understand there's a sacrifice that comes with that. And everyone's not wired for that. And even when you look at it from the woman, what you're looking for in a woman perspective, some of these men want this extremely beautiful woman, but can you handle that? Does she fit your lifestyle? Because if you're a frugal man, for example, and this very beautiful woman likes spending money, that's gonna be a huge conflict in your relationship. And so you have some men who go out of their way to impress this type of woman, to capture her attention, but then not really being honest about the fact that they can't sustain this. And then when they can't sustain it and she starts to feel some kind of way and get mad, well, now it's women are ungrateful, women are this, but it's like, wait a minute, you sold her on something that you can't keep up. It's almost like if you got with a woman and she started having sex with you and she was your bona fide freak. She did everything you wanted, right? And you loved it. And then 2 months in, it was like, oh no, I can't keep doing that. That's too much. I just did that to make you happy and to get you, but now that I got you, it's done. You would be pissed off. So I think a lot of men are not defining what kind of life they really want to live, what kind of life they can sustain, which then will determine what kind of woman fits into their life. And then whether she's considered high value or not by society, she will be high value to you because she will be able to bring you happiness and peace.